Welcome back to some more Shadow Empire Republica. We are currently at round 21. Only one decision to make this time. We found a treasure, a small one. 24 rare metals have been secured. We have increased our civilization level to 3. We have a new spy to send out as well. We have low leader relation. We are very well aware of that, especially our secretary, if I remember correctly. In between turns, there was a little bit of movement here. Troops moving around. Actually, I think they moved. I was gonna say they moved some out, but maybe they moved in a larger unit, right? Larger regiment, as there is now one with 3,000 warmongers. Let's see about the decision first. National budget. I think we're going to leave it as is, and we are. Oh, actually, we could take a look at our strategic map since we have put, I think, maybe 2 spies. That is correct. And there are also counter-espionage spy now, which I'm fairly sure is a new feature of the DLC. There is a miner in here, Kandanga Upper Enterprises, and also Crodarty's Territory Surviving AI miner team. There is the Miranis Pax, which we are at war with. There is also far away Onpelon Commune, and of course Skyshire, which we are at peace with. They are scavengers. Our relations are fairly good. And now the Necrolin. I guess we can check out their territory up close. I think they have just the one town. Yes, and all around them seems to be territory free for grabs. So before I go further, I might want to put, let's say, a spy there first, and we have rolled well. Seems they have a little bit of troops to the north, but we do not know what kind. And you guys are going back, Mr. Militia. So they have an airfield, but or air base. But I think AI always start with an air base in their capital city. They're building first solar panels, Industry 1, Bureaucratic 1. Not much to speak of. And they do seem to have like metal and also some uncommon artifacts. But the metals are... I'm not sure how the levels go. I think the higher the better. So level 1 to level 9, I want to say. So I think there's like an okay amount, but hard to get to. And then there are metals. And what kind of different assets do they have? It seems like their private economy is not really building anything. They have an ancient bunker military research android, which gives governor XP, and the degraded battery, which everyone starts with in their capital city. So yeah, not really a lot to speak of. Maybe because they started in like this almost huge impact crater or something, as there are mountains around in here and some water in the middle, as if this was like lower. So, and there are rivers here. Maybe it was a terrain which is hard to get through. And where does their borders in here? We might think about pushing our border at least a little bit towards theirs. I don't think we want to invest so much into infrastructure to be able to go all the way up to here just for a little bit of governor XP. So let's turn our attention before we go warring again to our assets. It seems like are we even? We are even on power. We are losing the max storage 49, so we are in fact quite good on energy currently. We definitely could use an ammunitions factory, however, it is a technology that is very much unknown to us. And before I spend all of my resources, let's maybe build 500 ammo or produce in our workshops. And actually, I'm wondering if the enemy maybe has more assets, but I'm just not aware of them. Not sure if that's possible. Anyway, what would we like to do? A bit more resources wouldn't be so bad, but I think bureaucratic offices too is probably the first thing we're going to go after. 400 metal, build point, can do that easily. And that's 40 energy in total, I think. So it's 30 more because currently it's up 10. And we might be able to also... we have an ice mine in here. And recycling 2 in here. I'm wondering if we want to do more recycling. Maybe not the border and maybe not in here because that is going to be hard to defend. This is something that we might want to use later. We need around we need 100 per turn, I think, for bureaucratic offices too. So we might be able to build this thing as well. We will be probably stalling a little bit, but
Yes, sir.
it's still more efficient probably to use up all of our industrial production as we can. Seems like they have a 100% entrenchment in their city, which is not surprising.
Copy that.
It seems like the bombardment was not very successful. Readiness only went up a little bit. Entrenchment is actually super high. And it also didn't go down very much. So instead of doing bombarding, we just might want to send them out into an assault. And as we can see, without the tanks, our odds are not that good. But I think we just have to try. We of course get a big penalty to fighting in ruins with the tanks. We just have to take the risk and start chipping down on them, as I'm not sure if they can replace their troops. We have lost the tanks, unfortunately, as there wasn't all of the infantry retreated, so the tanks were left unattended, undefended, and unfortunately they were destroyed. So it seems like my risky play did not pan out. We don't have a lot of recon here. But let's try so we can move these troops. Let's try to harass them some more. Okay, I guess these guys, they are already retreating. And let's move up. And we can also push from here. The odds are not great again, but I think we just have to commit and push them as hard as we are capable to bring as many troops to bear as we can, and we can also replace our many losses with some better type of troop that we have developed. So yeah, it will probably take us a few turns at least to get through that. In the meantime, are we able to help? Not really. We only can do buggies. We are currently developing our light tanks, I believe. And next, I think we have discovered artillery model. So we might be going for that next, which if we are not able to take the town up to the point where we can start building and the artillery, then it will probably be very helpful with that task. Can we open contact with the necro guys? Can, and we cannot fail, I think, thanks to the large bonus.
Understood.
So next turn we can see if we are able to open trade with them. I wonder, offer protection to these guys 206. And can we offer them humanitarian aid? No, because we don't have the money. Speaking of which, let's quickly check how is our cash flow. Very negative, mostly because of one of the laws that's taking up 4 credits every turn. Can we sell their earths? We can sell almost all of them for a hefty load of cash. I wonder, I suppose the protection... okay, we don't want to do this roll because we have a 25 penalty because we don't have the correct council. So it would be much more difficult to actually do it. Mr. Secretary, other than that, Director of Economic Council. I think I'm just going to play this card on her. I'm not sure if she needs the charisma, but she doesn't. No, only these 4 skills. But this does improve relations with just flat 25 points without a test, so
Understood.
let's just go with it. So she is over 50 and performs better. I wonder actually, because I think, didn't we have a card? No, that might have been my test game. Where I've gotten a card to... We have to impeach the governor, and I think there is a similar one to get rid of a director of a council. Or just anyone in any position without like any repercussions. And I was thinking that about our secretary, that we could just replace them with someone who would like us more. But I think for this turn, that's going to be it. and we shall see. Let me just check bottlenecks. It seems like we kinda do have a small bottleneck. I think they have used their ammo fighting this turn. That's why they aren't misplayed in full. We actually could push those odds. We have, I think, yeah, we have fairly good recon in the style. We'll just go with it. And it seems like it was unsubstantiated, and now we can, I believe, cut them off from their supply lines. I think yes. So now, hopefully they will lose supplies each turn and be less capable of putting up any kind of resistance. I am a little bit weary about this style, but I only have these guys to potentially block it. I guess I will do it. Maybe I could have gone the other way around, actually. Well, they can still move their troops here and then attack here or here, whatever they like to. Let's keep it at that and go to the next turn. We are now at round 22, and as we can see, we did see some pushback, and we have lost some more troops than they did. And we have a high virtus effect for Brianna Shapiro, who wants to become a better person. We're still in the decade of fanaticism. We have developed a Chevy Impala, our very fast light tank that's going to zip around the battlefield and look cool. We have discovered propeller engines from the military research. That's normally with the Air Force research or whatever it's called, and also the Diorianus territory, so the nomads, I think, to our north has declared war on us. But I'm pretty sure they didn't actually do any moves there. If we watch the history, we see we've had a concentrated attack on this formation. So and then here the AI is taking back their supply line, which is of course a smart move. So it looks like we should be probably pulling back these militia troops in order to be, and maybe these guys as well. We could also raise well, now we can because we don't have industrial points, as I have overcommitted a little bit into building up our assets, which means we also are now not able to build any replacement troops.
Copy that.
But we might just chill for a turn. Superior Circle wants us to adopt someone, and they are very much in line. In fact, totally in line with our core values. I suppose we could accept, although it's probably going to be another not very capable person. Well, they do have some skills that would make them either a troop leader. They have some fighting skills. Were they a soldier or something? An enforcer. And specialized in interrogation, became a soldier, then in tactics and became a scout, then specialized in personal combat, and finally was entered into our service by the Superior Circle. That's what happened just now with the decision. Seems fairly loyal, capability 2. So either a soldier or a governor. Now we have the self-improvement and decision for Brianna Shapiro. We'll tell her to be more altruistic. Economic Council can stay as is, although I'm spending a bunch of points for prospecting, but it doesn't necessarily seem like there is anything to actually prospect in our zone. And now we can start developing artillery with, I think for now, let's say the 40mm Enviro suits. And we have already moved these guys. Let's take a look at here. We should probably do a retreat with these. And maybe even move here, or do I counterattack? Or we can just spend some time entrenching. I'm not sure if they would be able to move in here, or if it's in our zone of control. I think just to be safe, let's move these guys into here. And we haven't fully replaced our troops. We are still, because they went up to probably replenish the guys in here as well. We will take these odds, although the recon is low, so they might not be very truthful, the odds that we are given. And now we can encircle their capital a bit more. And let's see if we'll just throw everyone 1-1. Let's just do the bombardment more. Actually, there is, I think, only one tile to the north.
Copy that.
That we still do not have. And I'm going to check, but I am guessing these odds are worse now because we don't have any troops. Yeah, we can't really take on these guys. So I think we are just going to chill for a turn, let our soldiers get some more readiness, trench a little bit more to be better on the defensive. Yeah, these guys have 0 HQ power, but I think is that normal for militia? No, they are too far, in fact, from the Supreme Headquarters, so they don't get bonuses from it. Okay, then let's see, we have a new spy to send out. We have uncovered a fairly large chunk of territory in here, so maybe let's start checking out here a little bit closer. And we probably won't be playing any more cards. Let's just quickly check out this territory. There's like one asset, default cave, not much to speak of. It's fairly barren, it seems, this whole part of the map. I wonder where are the other major regimes? Are they all bunched up somewhere in here? How many are there actually? I think somewhere in here, 5 majors and 27 minors to start with. Some minors might have already been eliminated. So there's 1, 2, and somewhere 3, 4, 5 in here. And then somehow 27 small ones. Not necessarily territory-wise small. So let's go to the next turn. It is now turn 23, and inflicted some losses. However, we took more. It seems like our militia lost some guns, some motorized, and some tanks. So these are just the trucks that we don't actually care about very much. And we've got a syndic priest. Let's see in the history. where exactly did the fighting happen. We see quite a lot of reshuffling, and it was actually the nomads that attacked us, pushed us out of the Free Folk village and beyond the river. However, this is a position that's going to be slightly easier to defend. Let's move in our reinforcements and take a quick look at our decisions. Militia requires our attention. A conflict occurred at militia headquarters. Their leaders are disagreeing over their objectives. If you could find the time to look into their arguments and pay them a visit, it would help sort out their issues. Will we spare the time to help out the militia leader? Of course we will. And actually this will put some of our people over the 50-point threshold, and they now like us a little bit more. Which one would we like to do next? We could go for the staff to start getting the tanks fairly soon, probably the artillery mixed into our infantry formations. However, I think we might need to go for foreign affairs, as we know of one major, and we have the minor that we are at peace with, and that we might be able to take over peacefully. And Kidwally, our capital city, our capital town up to now, is now becoming a minor city. We have the one spy that we could send. We don't see anything here yet. We could check out the minor here, and we rolled a bit above what was required. We can put the Syndic Priest into one of our units.
Understood.
And what does it do exactly? Doubles attack values in defensive combat. And now we have some industrial points. What's it called? Yeah, industrial points to spare. I should be using this. We have almost built the recycling in the bureaucrat offices too, and we might stall it for a little bit longer since we have to produce some replacement troops and some machine guns now as well. I wonder if we should raise a full formation of infantry to fight these guys to our north. However, we might not have the industrial points yet to do it. We could pull these guys, and I think that's exactly what we are going to do. And we'll leave one infantry regiment. Sorry, we left one infantry regiment out of it. And we will push it in. And can we kick these guys out? We can, hopefully. And they did start to retreat. It seems like we will need a few more replacement troops. We could try to push them even further to get this narrow piece of land. Although one of our leaders and the operational headquarters was killed in battle. However, they did manage to achieve the objective of pushing the enemy back. Do we have anyone who we could send there? I suppose this... how many rifles do you have? 611. So yeah, let's put this formation here. Maybe... well, these guys, I think they can chill. So as to we don't lose any more people unnecessarily. And we wait and attack here, while these guys should, I think, start losing their supplies, and we can concentrate our forces a little bit more in case of a counter push. And I think that's going to be it for this turn. Like, we can take a quick look if anything changed here. Yeah, okay, we don't have the council even so. But we will have it next turn, right? Because this is the... I should say here... yeah, Foreign Affairs Council Director, normally executed by... so next turn it might be easier if we have anyone charismatic to put into the position of director for that council. And we are now at round 24. It seems that we are losing some more militia probably, and also might be some of our regular troops. We had elections and the Republican Society, the old majority, won with 95% of the vote. So that's quite a big lead. We have another priest to embed maybe with these guys. Since he increases the defensive power, and look at the history. We saw a push in here where we lost a whole bunch of militia and were pushed back, in fact, and they did move in. And a little bit of movement here, but no aggression as of yet. Maybe bolster these guys a little bit. I suppose we can push in here. And let's check out our decisions. A new law to be enacted. Clean elections law. What do you mean clean elections? Was there some problem with our elections? 95% is definitely not like falsified or whatever. People just like them so much. So, on the initiative of Republican Society, the Parliament is holding a vote whether to enact the Clean Elections Law. It is no longer acceptable that governors and commanders influence their subjects on what to vote. And the effects are: governors and commanders no longer influence the votes of their subjects. Leaders with democracy profile get +1 per turn, and that's actually what we would like to see. A lot of democracy, and this will cost even more of our bureaucratic points, and it seems like almost everyone except one person from Sacred Front who weirdly are the ones for democracy, while Republican Society is not really up with democracy, but all of them are for it. So okay, let's lean back and see. And it did go through, and some Republican Society people did vote against, in fact, while everyone else voted in favor. So we got some mind and a little bit of democracy as well. And we need new director for foreign affairs, which is, I think, diplomacy and maybe something else. Intimidate probably. So this guy has some intimidation. So he might be able to intimidate the miners into joining us. However, this guy as well. 12, 13, 36 cap 2, 22 cap 2. And how about Mercedes? 28, but capability 1. And Jacob 19 and 1. So it seems like this guy, while very young and not greatly capable, would be good enough for us. For now at least. And with time will of course develop his skills for experience. Let's leave it at 50-50 for now, since we have like one minor and one major to deal with. We need new commander for the 2nd Light Infantry, 30 war, 21 war, and any well, actually, operational command is, I think, the one that we mostly care about here, which none of these people have, but however, we can recruit someone from the military. One War 23, Cap 1. Yeah. We have a lot of points. Let's just try the mercenary. Capability, War 30, Deception, Gun Tank. Yeah, also not the skills that we really are after. Looks like might be better for the role of a governor. Should we just put this guy in? 30 capability. Yeah, let's just do it. Okay, it seems like we now have quite a few more industrial points to go around, as the constructions of both the recycling facility and expanding bureaucratic offices, these have now finished. Looks like these guys are fully rested. However, I do not like these odds all that much. They are now kinda cut off. Do we need any more replacement? Only a little bit. I think what we might need is just some more bodies to pile onto the problem of besieging. So let's just go for another infantry brigade. Grants we can't quite afford, especially ammunition wise. And now we can produce more ammunition, which we definitely should, but then we won't have enough industrial points to recruit the people that we need, so let's just hold that off for now. And then we want to do any moves here? I don't think so. Attacking over water is not something that we want to go for. So I suppose we shall wait a little bit longer. We can now see the Kandanga Upper Enterprises with their CEO. Can we see what assets they have? Dome Farms, Transport, Light Industry, Hospice, and a library. It's a minor, so they only have the private assets under their disposal. We can see a tundra in here to the far north. We didn't get another spy. We can now take a look at offering protection. So now instead of minus 25 because the incorrect director or the incorrect council would have had to do the roll. Rather, we have, instead of minus 25, we have plus 21, but the difficulty is still way too high. So that's not something that we are going to be doing any soon. And it seems like our relation is not good enough to offer trade. And shiny gifts is also difficult, so doesn't seem like we're gonna be doing anything in these regards yet. We don't have any fate points, so that we could like assign a shadow diplomat or shadow spy up with a skill roll with one of the stratagems, I think, but not any priority. Let's just go to the next turn. We are now at round 25, and we see that we have inflicted quite large losses against the enemy while only losing a small amount ourselves. Actually, I think maybe last episode we also had someone buy something and I was supposed to check it and I think I forgot. So let's maybe go for our leaders now. We find 9 machinery, that's a very nice find. Admin level, present level 6. So we've gained a fate pack and a polit pack. Prosperity dividend will incite the population and traders to donate freely to our treasury. Note that population happiness and loyalty has a big impact on giving donations. Executed by Economic Council. Difficulty is on inverse popularity, so the more popular we are, the easier it will be. Leadership role, and yeah, it doesn't tell exactly how much we might get. Assistance team will give assistance team leader feat to a selected leader, and the leader has a big team of assistants that help her to come with ideas. Doesn't explain exactly what it's going to doing. This is a common. This is a rare, and ceasefire is an uncommon. This is to stop a war with a major without a relation change, so the peace will likely be temporary. And another syndic priest, which we might want to distribute into here, for example. Understood. And let's first take a look at our history and then at the leader. So we are attacked from here with a fairly large force, 3,600 infantry, 800 war dogs, some buggies, 100 bikers, but maybe we are more entrenched now. And I think our grunts the better ones, the better troops. Defenders stood firm. We didn't retreat. And we some movements there, and looks like we're going to get an event with this militia troop in here, but let's first take a look at our leaders. I do not remember which one was it. This one is a KP director. I think we gave him this one to just see what it might do. This guy is a militia chief, our governor of Kidwelling. Secretary, no feats, advisor, none. Is the advisor attached to Lola Rover line, which I think is the not Supreme Command Council? Why are you attached to Supreme Command? Yes, sir. And not next turn we have to remember to attach him, which I will not remember. Exemplary CEO. Business interest in specific asset. Leader has appointed his own and exemplary management and CEO at asset. Higher efficiency will also generate revenue for leader. So that means that this person earns more money, but we also get more efficiency from the asset. From Light industry. They have 193 credits. Does anyone else have anything interesting regarding their feats? Medal of Merit that we've given out, and exemplary CEO for scavenging 1 for Iliana Zempi. Let's take a look at our decision. Adventurers discover special location. We have received a radio contact from Hex 10121. That's up there. A private expedition by some of our people has established a control over this special hex. They are requesting that we help them hold on to it. That's not going to be easy, but that's something that we will try to do, or rather promise and forget about it very quickly. Over ambitious order from our newly appointed replacement for the 1st Machine Gun Infantry Brigade, if I remember correctly, Thomas Brady. He met the people of this small community way out in the middle of nowhere and promised them the same living standards as our populace enjoys within the span of a single month. And well, frankly, we did not succeed to deliver. I think the people now say I am a bit of a buffoon. I would say that's probably a correct assessment. The populace of Kidwilly is angry and there might well be a minor unrest. He seems to be fairly ambitious, so we shall denounce the actions. Although we would like this guy to like us more, but
understood.
Nothing much we can do about it. I think we will invest, or maybe even a bit more, so that we can get our artillery quicker. Scavenger offers 6 machinery for 322 credits. We have a lot of machinery to go around, but we could secure some more for our future. However, that unfortunately puts commerce over our government profile. See if the trade is better now with guys. No, we still cannot do it. How about protection? We still cannot do it. How about these assistants? Ideas feels like something maybe for research or model design. How about we give it to our military research director and see what exactly does it do for them. Atlas Richard Tower, Director of Military Council, plus 10 improvisation. So it just helps the leader in question to make a skill roll on a skill he doesn't master very well. If any skill roll is made on a skill roll with a value of 15 or lower, the improvisation skill adds a small bonus. So I think probably the total is what's taken under account for this skill, and since he is already, his total is over 15 on both the skills that he is using, then it seems like it won't be helpful at all, but at least now we know. We have one fate point, but I'm not seeing any card I would specifically like to play. Let's see. How are we on the industrial points and on replacement groups? We should be good. Let's move in here. How would the attack go? Yeah, not as good as I would like. So let's see. In here, it seems like we can just completely encircle them. That's a quite a hefty stack up in here or down there. 2-1. We are almost 100% entrenched. Readiness could be higher. I suppose we might as well do some bombardment just because we can.
Copy that.
But it doesn't do much probably. Yeah, only slightly reduced readiness entrenchment. So now let's see about this thing. 1.421, probably not yet. And are we able to now raise a full brigade of infantry? And grants, we can do it. And grants are the better ones. I'm fairly sure, but let's just double check. And yes, indeed, they are almost twice as good. So let's indeed raise a new brigade of infantry with only a better type of troop. And actually, I was thinking that we might have a little bit of a supply problem, but only for this hex, but we might as well just connect these roads if we can. No, because we only have 40 points left, so let's go to here, and in the future we can connect these up. That's some pretty good scavenging, over 20k in 3 hexes. So that's going to be nice to take over. And let's change their color to something that stands out a little bit more. Maybe. Do we have a blue one? I don't think we have a blue one. We have like a light blue team. Or are they? I guess it's different enough that we shouldn't be confusing the two together. And I think that's going to be it for this episode. Next turn, we will hopefully be able to do some strategic move. Actually, we can already do it, seems like. So let's move these freshly recruited troops to the front line. So they get their readiness up and running at the beginning of the next turn. And they shall be assisting with the siege of Meyranes. And we shall see next episode if we are able to finally take over this city.